I wasn't doing shit, bitch ass boy. Maybe it's you, since you think you're so smart. Alright, what's good, y'all? We're jigging back again. And today we are back with Danganronpa Lapse. Today we are here with the class trial for Pandora, Espere. Let's get straight to it. I don't got no time to wait. Without further ado, I take it all to you to know why you're here. Skip all of this. Don't care. Jeez, you're all quite a bunch, aren't you? You're all a quiet bunch, aren't you? You're all here to suss out who done it. In other words, you're all trying to figure out who the culprit of today's heinous crime is. You think you could just get away with murder and win the prize? Nah, it's not that simple. The rules are as follows. Discuss, discover, and determine who the culprit is among your group. Majority vote will seal the individual's fate. We'll just see what happens from there, yeah. One of the few outcomes work here. Determine and vote incorrectly and the entire class is executed, with the culprit alone able to walk free and win the ultimate prize. That's the ideal endgame for the culprit. Determine and vote correctly, and the culprit alone will receive a proper retribution and perish at the hands of your group decision. Phew, just might live to see another day. Our victim today is Pandora Espere, the ultimate baker, a sweet young lady who could do nothing wrong, or could she? Well, people can surprise you. So with that out the way, get to talking. Who exactly are you? What? You're still asking that even though I introduced myself all nice? You should have bigger concerns than that. Talk about the murder. I can't believe who did it isn't your top priority right now. Huh? No one wants to talk? Need I remind you your lives are kind of on the line? If none of you start talking, you'll all default to having lost the trial and you'll be executed. You don't want that, do you? Executed? What does that mean? The dictionary of definition of execute is carry out a sentence of death. It's really quite simple. On the one hand, it makes my job easier. I don't have to listen to bad deductions. On the other hand, I'd be terribly bored if this game didn't go past the first chapter. I'm not doing this laugh, bro. I'm not doing laughs, bro. I'm sorry. Everyone, please, we need to discuss who could have possibly done the unthinkable. As trifling or even irrelevant as something may be, if you have any concerns about this case, speak now. It's scary. Say, are you okay? Say, please don't push yourself. Yes, thank you. If you want us to talk, I'll talk. I'll talk about how scared I am. I just want to go home. I can't get used to anything around here. I don't know any of you people. And then someone gets killed? Say, I understand it's difficult, but discussing our friend's death is necessary to ensure we don't find a similar fate ourselves. At the very least, we can try to remember our last moments with her. That, Zero, is right. We don't want to go down without a fight, right? Why don't we begin with Pandora's last known whereabouts? The silence in the room was oppressive. A trial to defend ourselves? Why did I need to defend myself if I know for a fact that I would never kill her? Regardless, no one knew where to start. Well then, I shall begin. Last I saw her, we were sharing a quiet breakfast. I can back that. The group was composed of Art, Echo, Missy, Pandora, and myself in the dining hall from 7:40 a.m. to 10 a.m. After that, we all kind of went our own way. I went around the mansion with Echo to talk with the others who weren't at breakfast. Listen, I don't know why we're talking about this much. We need to be talking about what she was doing after the atrium, bro. That's the last spot she was seen at. That's what we should really be saying. But they talking about all this useless shit. Who did we see again, Echo? Art doesn't recall the people we visited after breakfast. Let's see. We met with... It was that one for sure. Oh yeah! Those people were Say, Cannon, Forte, and Lyle. We asked them about their talents. That's right. But when we were touring the mansion, we met with those four and no one else. The only ones we didn't see after breakfast were Pandora and Ashley. I mean, we met with Pandora when we were talking to Conan, but She didn't stick around long. She said she has somewhere to be and left to go with who knows where.
There's a period of time which no one saw Pandora last, is that correct?
That window apparently being somewhere between 10 a.m. to approximately 4 p.m.
Can anyone else provide their whereabouts in that approximate time frame? I was alone in the study for a good portion of the afternoon. I went to the theater at about 2:30 p.m.
Oh, you must have left just before I went in. I went to the study at 3 p.m. I spent my time in my personal room.
I wasn't in one place.
I was investigating the mansion until 3. That is, I met up with Art for a little bit and eventually landed in a jazz club right before 4.
I was recording myself with the amenities and the pizza for such the afternoon.
I was in my room too. After I had a meal with Art and Echo, I went back and didn't leave at all. I was in the atrium for a while.
It looks like no one has a particularly strong alibi except for Art and Echo, who can vouch for each other until 3 p.m.
What does that mean?
Means that since many of us were acting on our own for an extended period of time, our whereabouts can be heavily doubted. Anyone could have lied about their activity instead set up some sort of trap to get rid of Pandora since no one saw each other.
So we're all suspicious?
It's difficult to narrow down who is potentially suspicious on these claims alone. Let's calm down and think thoroughly. Why don't we move the topic to the motive force question? Question along with the motive music was rather to push someone to commit crime. We're out to figure out what about the question will have such distress.
The force motive question?
A small group of us talked about it briefly this morning over breakfast, but ultimately we couldn't figure out the purpose of the question. Why don't we discuss the purpose that now everyone is present?
Discussion commenced. The purpose of the force motive question. The question was, are your talents a true representation of who you are? Who are you beyond your talent? What could it mean? It should pay attention to the statements that might sound interesting. A question to provoke killing? It makes no sense.
How could a simple question make us do something as extreme as end someone's life? This morning we speculated that sharing the history behind our talents could only create a bond between us.
Greater bond?
Echo, I believe you lead our discussion them this morning. You should be well versed in what everyone had to say and whatever the fuck we came to.
That's right. We all shared our thoughts and agreed nothing we said struck anyone as strange. I already hit that.
I am being inclined to agree with that conclusion. It only makes sense after all.
But it's also possible that it's a tactic used to instill distrust and cause discord. Whoa, Ashley? Whoa, Ashley?
What do you mean by distrust, Ash?
Let's say someone didn't want to talk about their talent, despite their talent being something that's highly lauded. If someone wouldn't want to talk about such an assuming topic, their resistance should be suspicious, right?
But just because someone's talent is public knowledge, it doesn't necessarily mean the individual's life and practice behind it should be public as well.
Ash, you kept your talent unknown to me for whatever reason. Are you saying you want me to believe you're suspicious? Of course not! How could you even say that?
Did you ask someone about the force motives question and not get an answer?
No, I just didn't want to bother anyone with such a potentially loaded question. Is my talent a true representation of who I am? I never thought about my talent as a representation of me. It was simply a hobby that's spiraled into something incredulous or whatever the fuck. I never would have thought racing would lead me to end up in such a strange mess.
Sorry to press you so hard, Ash. Art asked me if I knew anything about your talent and I couldn't properly answer him. That said, I think this conversation eventually proved your point, that it could cause discord. There's contention even between us.
That's alright. I'm sorry if keeping a secret hurt you, Echo. I didn't mean to tie you up in such complications.
It's not complicated. You're my friend. If anything hurts, it's the fact that I burden you with this topic.
Well, that's the purpose of this discussion, isn't it? To bring ideas and theories to light? And I don't suppose I just perform an example of the question causing such an altercation. Oh, wasn't that something? Best friends were calling their differences for the sake of proving a point. I suppose every discussion has to start somewhere. Okay, as you were.
Right, thank you for that, but whatever the fuck, Zero. In that case, What if the question posed was meant to make us look at Ultimate's doing silence as an end justifies the means of product?
I mean, justifies? Serve with what?
The end justifies the means. A saying in which result is deemed so important that any method, morally good or bad, may be used to achieve it. In this case, I believe what Echo is saying regardless is how someone achieves such advanced talent, or what a person is like behind its meaningless in the grand scheme of having an ultimate title. After all, didn't we all sign up for the preservation project, knowing full well that we needed to bear an ultimate title? An ultimate title, a ridiculously valuable title, receives full super excelling in their fields of expertise. But what does this possibly have to do with Pandora getting killed? There's no way any of us was like jealous of her talent or something, was there? We were all strangers before meeting in this scary place anyway. I want to believe we all get along with her. We all get along with each other. In fact, without the killing game pressure, I don't see how anyone could possibly harbor any ill will.
Nah, someone has gotta hate her. They did not add this to this. What? I'm bored. You aren't talking about anything interesting. Hold on. You hit that shit. You aren't talking about anything interesting, so I thought I'd throw you all a bone to get the ball rolling a little faster. Not one single person is going to be loved by everyone. It's just not possible. Facts. No matter where you go in the world, you will be hated by somebody. That's why you always gotta love yourself. How could you say that? She did nothing but show kindness and warmth toward everyone. Pandora only ever wanted to share good food with good friends.
Yeah, she always worked tirelessly to bring us together with her delicacies.
Blah. Oh, good show, everyone. You're all such great actors. It has been fun watching, but the discussion isn't really going anywhere. Oh.
I'll just put an end to this now. This case, this trial, it's all an elaborate ARG scheme.
Bro, what's up with you and ARGs, bro? Let him go, bro.
Lyle? It's all that matters.
The reason why there's so few clues is just a way to save resources. Imagine if the folks setting up the game had to use a bunch of fake plugs to create the scene. But I suppose for the sake of entertainment, such systems exist to waste resources.
Lyle, what are you talking about?
Pandora isn't dead. She can't be. Nothing adds up. But I suppose if you want me to keep playing, I'll say this. Let's think about who was on the scene first. If I recall correctly, it was Echo, wasn't it?
Yeah, I saw Pandora's body first, and I called for help, which made Cyrus and Cannon arrive shortly after.
Okay, easy. The culprit is one of you three.
Bitch? I wasn't doing shit, bitch ass boy. Maybe it's you, since you think you're so smart. What? On what grounds do you think you can speculate that?
Now, I'm not trusting Cyrus either, though, because he was the closest one. He was a room next door. How do you not hear anything?
Pandora's supposed to have a desk was 4 or 5, right?
I'll set the scene. We're just minding our own business in the bench, not knowing what's to come. Soon, some nasty music starts playing. One of you three starts getting stressed out, so we strangle the first person you see. How else could we narrow down the culprit? It has to be someone who was near the scene after 4 p.m. Now, this one couldn't have gotten far away after escaping a crime scene. In my opinion, motivation to kill a law stress from music is kind of shoddy writing, but at least there was an attempt. Lau keeps going on about the killing and being an ARG, but her death seems so real.
Huh? Wait, doesn't that mean everyone's alibis from earlier don't amount to anything?
Bingo. I believe you all discussed your whereabouts up to approximately 3 p.m. latest, but no one said anything about anything from then to 4 p.m. when the music started. The critical moment to consider is the time just before the murder occurred, obviously. If someone off Pandora via acute strangulation and made their getaway, it's not likely the culprit would have gotten far away from then and when Echo supposedly discovered the body. So, with the window of action narrowed down to between 4 and 4:05, does anyone care to share their newly updated whereabouts?
They're going all wrong about this, bro. Were we all in the approximate time around 4 p.m. leading up to the motivational music? If we follow through the law of speculation, we might glean some information about that will help us. Fred, Mrs. joined me in the theater after the music started. So you can vouch for each other, right? Yes, because Missy had an idea that required my assistance. I thought 14 and I could go backstage and control the sound system, but our attempts were futile. I was in my room, still hiding under the covers.
I told you, I was in the foyer leading up to the music. It was noisy, sure, but nothing I couldn't deal with.
I was in the jazz club. Wait a minute, Lau. I know for a fact that the jazz club is soundproof.
Oh!
That's right! When I attempted to play the silo yesterday, you and Cyrus were just outside the jazz club in the hallway. Neither of you seemed to have any reaction when we came out shortly after. That means it's possible that Laos is exempt from hearing the motivational music. Is it? I suppose you're onto something. I admit, I don't even know what the motivational music sounds like. But no, that's an awfully curious situation you put yourself in, right? Sure, it's odd, but what's stranger still is how did Lyle know about the motivational music if he never heard it? The kiosks. Remember? They translate sound to text, but this time I only saw a message. It says something like, preserving the atmosphere of the room. 0.
What's up?
You are the judge of this trial, but you are also the announcement operator outside these walls. I assume you can assist us with something clerical like this? Can you tell us what the kiosk message said in specific?
Your current room is a special room that blocks all outside sound to preserve the atmosphere of the room. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. I didn't write that, by the way.
So you're saying we could have avoided the noise entirely? Isn't that too convenient? Wait a minute. In that case, what if Lyle is the one who killed Pandora? What? Didn't I just say that if it was the music that would have provoked someone to kill her? I was in the jazz club. I didn't even hear the music. Therefore, I wouldn't have felt the motivation to move. No! You could have killed her in the jazz club and moved her body to the spa lounge. That would explain the lack of clues in the spa lounge. This is troublesome. Did any of us investigate the jazz club afterwards? No, I was so shocked from seeing the body that I didn't even think about looking elsewhere. I was just as astonished as soon as we heard the body discovery chime. So perhaps Lyle counted on the fact and did in fact kill her in the jazz club. He doesn't have an alibi for a large portion of the afternoon anyway. Saying something like scouring a mansion for clues, he could have spent a full day unsupervised poking the terrible thing that ended Pandora's life. Hey, haven't you heard the phrase extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence? Well, that's not out of the question. After all, the ultimate puzzle master could have set up something elaborate, so elaborate that the answer to this murder puzzle goes right over our head. It can't be possible. Well, the climbing temple, which is between the spa lounge and the jazz club. If Lyle committed the crime in the jazz lounge, I would have plainly witnessed the change of the scene. You very well could have constructed the alibi to assist Lyle in his dark activity. Now, why on earth could I lie about something? Settle down! Yelling at each other with hypotheticals isn't getting us anywhere. Agreed. If we'll quell Sai and Forte's worries, let's tackle their initial theory and go from there. Sai and Forte are wrapped up in the possibility of Lyle killing Pandora in the jazz club. Is it worth discussing? Decision? What? We came to this out of nowhere, but it's true. He has no alibi now. I think so. We shouldn't leave anything to doubt. If Lyle isn't the culprit, then he shouldn't have any problem killing her. Are you kidding me? Fine. What would my motive for killing her be? I didn't have the motivational music, so that's out of the question. And I didn't speak to her about the forced motive question since I haven't seen her all afternoon. So tell me, based on my lack of time around Pandora, do I even have any clear reason to get rid of her? Oh my stars, you are all so bad at this. What? I'll tell you all for certain that nothing happened in the jazz club. Oh, fuck. Huh? And I'm telling you this because you're all just awful at this whole trial thing. Jeez. I guess this is what happens when there's no ultimate detective around, huh?
And your ultimate photographer's so quiet, she's all but drop dead at this point. If she's drop dead, you'd have to go through another trial, and I don't think I have the patience to watch you run in circles at this rate. Alright, since it's just clear going nowhere, allow me to throw you a bone. There's something strange about that note in the spot. Pool, don't you think?
We should have been talking about from the get-go. Say has the other one. Oh my fuck.
Lyle very conveniently managed to redirect the conversation from the piece of evidence on scene. I'll let you think about it for yourselves.
The note. The note must have something to do with Pandora's murder, but what? I'm certain Art and Lyle know something about it since Lyle brought it up with us, but...
Hello? This is all a dead air. Don't want to talk anymore? You don't want everyone to die without giving the trial your best shot, do you? Like, aren't any of you even trying to save yourselves? Maybe I should stop giving you these opportunities.
Bro, talk to say, bro. The courtroom fell silent. It seems we all neglected the gravity of the situation, or rather, we were avoiding it. It's just, nothing felt real. Pandora's death, her body hardly showed any signs of injury. It was like she was asleep. It's as if we all wanted to forget the reality of the topic at hand, which was someone had killed our friend. We kept dodging and darting around the main issue. Yes, as painful as it was, we must discuss her murder. It may seem hopeless at the moment since we don't have much information to work with, but clues will reveal themselves as we bring about certain topics to light. So, don't hold your tongue. We must do this to save ourselves. Bro. Then, I'll start with her cause of death. From there, it'll probably be easier to reason without potential culprits. According to the monocle file, it was strangulation. And we identify what she was strangled with. We have to touch upon the possibilities. It may be difficult to think about, but no one said such a fight would be easy. Okay, just what was Pandora strangled with? Is there something we're missing? Let us narrow down our thoughts and eliminate the things that would be unlikely. We also ought to think about in the spawn lounge could be used. Exactly. But in the spawn lounge could be used? We consider the following. The climbing center and the jazz club are occupied by one person each. Neither of the occupants saw anything else during their stay. And the killing occurred soon after the 4 p.m. music, so it's likely the culprit could have only used whatever was available on the location. Whatever anything could be used. Think. What is the murder weapon? Her own strings. What can I click? Oh, I gotta choose. I didn't even see that behind her. Could it be? Echo, are you onto something? A towel. I think so. You brought up a good line of thought that made me rethink the scenario. I recall something that might answer our questions. I believe the culprit may have used a towel to strangle her. It's an unassuming object, isn't it? Of course there are going to be towels in the spawn lounge. So the culprit took advantage of the location and utilized the tools available, the tool being the very towel she was resting her head on. Then they must have strangled her by wrapping the towel around her neck and pulling until she stopped struggling. And breathing altogether. It would explain the lack of fingernails dug in, as well as explain why I didn't see any near the climbing center in the event rope was used. It might just be conjecture, but it's the best thing we have so far. But there's something bothering me, if I may. What I don't get is, why was Pandora seemingly so relaxed in the spot? She was reclined and there weren't any signs of struggle in the whole room. There must have been the obnoxious music playing in the spot too, so I doubt she would have stayed. That's strange indeed. I certainly couldn't concentrate on the climbing grips once it started. The music was so annoying, I didn't know it was playing until I was outside. More importantly, Echo, did you bonk your head on something? The spawn lounge is soundproof. I didn't know that. Huh? Well, I guess that makes sense since I threw the door open. Hang on, what? The spawn lounge is soundproof? Whoops. Was that not common knowledge? Hold it. Explain yourself. Does that have relevance to the trial? It's what I've been saying, and I think the music has no relevance to the trial, bro. Like, the music was just simply to throw us off, bro. That's literally what I think. If the spawn lounge is soundproof, and the motivational music was playing throughout the rest of the mansion, whoever was in the spawn lounge with Pandora must not have been aware of the thought of music. 0. I noticed in your chaos you messes you didn't specify which room was soundproof. It simply said your current room is a special room. Is that correct?
I said I didn't write that. But, yeah. I guess it did say that, didn't it? Fine. Yes. All second floor rooms are soundproof. Happy?
All second floor rooms? In that case, wouldn't Pandora have been completely relaxed and unaware of motivation music when it started at 4 p.m.?
Wait, that's right. Well, not the atrium, but it's more of a giant than a hall. What? It's more of a giant hall than a room. No closed doors and anything, you know?
I wasn't aware. I left the climbing center's doors open upon my stay.
So it's not just a jazz club.
You probably assumed a jazz club along with soundproof because people perform in there. Now it has been revealed that Pandora was willingly in the spawn lounge, relaxed and completely unaware of the music, presumably far before it started playing in the first place. And even when it did begin, she would have been undisturbed by it due to the soundproof quality of the spawn lounge. Just a minute. That means the motivational music had nothing to do with provoking someone to kill her. Yes, is what I've been saying and thinking this whole time. What? Echo, you have any idea of what provoked the person, don't you? Have an idea of what provoked the person, don't you? You've had this look on your face since this afternoon. No, isn't it? It's what I've been saying. Oh my gosh. You've seen it before. In fact, you saw it before I brought it up with you, Art. And Art.
Finally, talking about the note.
Yes, I've seen it before. Pandora herself showed it to me last night. Pandora? How did you see it? Lyle said it was the announcement special gift from this morning.
I lied about that. There was no special gift. If someone did show up, I was just going to call them a chump personally. I'm actually also perplexed as to where that came from. Although, maybe I shouldn't complain. The note has made things very interesting.
What? Is it the note you're all talking about? I said that wrong. Remember that scrap of paper we saw in the pool? Yes, it was soaked beyond legibility. That's the note we're talking about, namely a note to be kept in secrecy. But what does it say? I remember it said, if you recognize one of the symbols depicted, then you have finally found me and are safe. Please do not speak of this note's existence. Trust no one but yourself. It had 2 emblems on it, as the note references, and I saw one of those emblems on the shred of wet paper in the spa pool. Pandora was in possession of such a dangerous, suspicious thing. The culprit must have saw that. She had the note on hand and threw it in the pool to soak and destroy it. They were probably afraid of the whatever the fuck of protecting the recipient and what effect it could have on the rest of us in the killing game. They probably thought that whoever's in possession of the note must be linked to the game itself. Then wouldn't the culprit be of one of the few who knew of the note's existence? That's right. She reacted when Zero first mentioned it. Say, you reacted when Zero mentioned the note earlier. Have you seen the note before? I have never seen it. That's a lie, bro. I see. But how could that be? Lyle said he saw Say go into the pantry, and after she left, he saw the note. Before this trial, the only ones who could have seen it were Say, Lyle, Echo, and me, right? If the Atreum special gift was a lie, then what's with the secret note being in the pantry earlier this afternoon? I imagine Pandora herself must have left it there, seeing as she was utilizing the ingredients from the pantry to make breakfast this morning. She must have left it there? Then why is there a similar note in the spa pool? She couldn't have left it out of her possession. It's supposedly a note to be kept in secrecy. Wait a minute, then there are 2 notes? But we still do not know where those notes came from in the first place. None of these random details are making any sense. I'm also having a hard time sorting out relevant information. Indeed, it's becoming difficult to define what is true, what happened, when, and why things are as they were. We tried to lay down a timeline of events that could clear our heads and straighten out thy things out of anything. The timeline of events. Yes, I think it could help. That could help. I noticed a handful of whatever that could use clearing up. Perhaps I ought to take the events back to last night when Pandora showed me the secret note. The note seems to be the biggest complication. Pandora pulled me aside to show me the secret note at I have no clue. That's it. Yes, it was 10 p.m. I remember the light started to dim around our conversation indicating the start of nighttime. Oh, I remember now. The following morning, which was earlier today, we can assume Pandora must have been up earlier than everyone else and began preparing to bake. A small group of us had breakfast and conversed about the motive question, which rang at... I'm tripping. 9. That's right. Oops. The fourth motive question amounts to rang at 9. Yep. We briefly touched on the topic, but ultimately didn't feel any motivation to conduct any sort of killing, likely to whatever the announcer. Afterwards, I had planned to go back to my room, but R stopped me and we went around speaking to other students about the question. We were occupied with asking until 3 p.m. Yes, that's it. But just before 3, Art and I ran into Law as he was going to his room. We talked to him a little bit about the question, but he had a little to say about the matter. During our conversation, he brought to our attention the secret note, the same secret note Pandora had the night before. Law claimed that someone had left the note in the pantry. We just talked about that. That's right. And the person who was last in the pantry before me, for him, was Say. That's it. Lau claims he saw Say scurry from the second floor of Trium to the pantry and back out again. After Lau showed us the disarmed door, the secret note, Art and Lau went off on their own, and I went to the study at 3 p.m. While I was in the study, another announcement rang and started playing by some sort of jarring motivational music that once again attempted to start killing. Motivational music began at 4. That's right. I recall the announcer saying the time. I ran out of the study and panicked, trying to find any of the other students. For the atrium, I saw a shadowy figure at the top of the stairs. I followed them, but lost track of them, which instead led me to discover Pandora's body. If only I was able to keep up with the shadow figure, perhaps this trial would have been whatever sooner. But it's strange. I couldn't seem to add anything up despite how much we knew. Or rather, perhaps there was some other unforeseen force that factored in contributed to Pandora getting killed. There had to be something missing. I felt an uneasy anticipation tugging at me, something willing me to continue the pursuit of whatever force caused its myth. I had to try. Uncovering the truth was more difficult than I thought, but Pandora would tell me not to give up. I had to try to narrow down where the strange factor's weak point was. I thought about the scenario from the starting point of when the note was revealed, since it was a topic of whatever. Perhaps I ought to think backwards from Pandora's death to see if there's any holes. Pandora was killed in the spawn lounge. Yes, there weren't clearly any signs of her body being moved. But before she was killed, what was Pandora's speculated state in the spawn lounge? She was relaxed. We were able to assume she was relaxed in the spawn lounge because she is... soundproof. She never heard the music. We learned that the spawn lounge has soundproof qualities. If Pandora was in there with the door closed, she would likely not have been disturbed. Wait a minute. When I first entered the spawn lounge, I was initially under the impression that there was more motivational music playing within. Little did I know, it was only playing because I had thrown the door open, running the soundproof quality of the room. However, someone noted that they were unaware of this music until they moved from one area to the next. The fact is that the climbing center and the jazz club were already occupied. Neither Cyrus nor Lau claimed they were with company. This person could have left the only remaining room that shared the soundproof quality of the other two. Why was Pandora seemingly so relaxed in the spot? She was reclining. There weren't any signs of struggle in the whole room. There must have been the obnoxious music playing in the spot too, so I doubt she would have stayed. That's strange indeed. I certainly couldn't concentrate on the climbing grips once it started. That music was so annoying. I didn't know if it was playing until I was outside. More importantly, Echo, did you bonk your head or something? The spawn lounge is soundproof. There it is. Oh, this is a memory. Who was behind the spawn lounge and motivational music? Art. By making a remark of the change between locations, the culprit have only been in the spawn lounge before the motivational music. By that logic, the culprit must have shared the room with the victim. Art must have been in the spawn lounge with Pandora before she died. No. Everyone, I think I have the full picture. What's with you? You were totally spaced out for a second. Be quiet, you. Oh, yes, ma'am. Echo, or is there something we were missing? Yeah, I think something might have slipped right under us. We've been looking at this under the guise that the motivational music had everything to do with the murder. However, this is a discrepancy in that thinking. Pandora was never exposed to it, yet she wound up victim to the effects of it. As we discussed and discovered, all second floor rooms are soundproof from the outside noise when the door is closed. Case in that point, Cyrus leaving the climbing center doors open and loud, disturbing the jazz club. But then I noticed someone said something strange. They mentioned they weren't aware of the music either. That is, until they exited pursuit. Oh, I remember now. I should have paid attention. Neither Cyrus nor Lau ever encountered anyone during their stay. So by the process of elimination, the only room this person could have exited would be the spa lounge. I don't know if anyone else picked up on it, but I think I know who the culprit is. It's Art. He was the other person who didn't know about the music. Art, did you kill Pandora? Art! What? Hang on! That can't be! Please yield. Echo, this thought of yours, it's awfully bold for you to point the finger at someone so conclusively. Well, it's only a shred of an idea, but it's the only piece that fits. We put the timeline together beginning from when Art and I separated at 3 p.m. It's not unreasonable to assume that this crime was conducted during a smaller window after Art and Lyle were separated and before the motivational music. It's been stated several times that Lyle was by himself at a jazz club. So, given the circumstance, what? You're all just going to listen to that tiny, impossible statement? Art, say something. Don't let them tell you what's what. It's nonsense. What? In fact, he was with me in the jazz club until 4 p.m. Yeah, isn't that right? Lyle, you must know that we are beyond the veil of smoke and mirrors. What are you implying? It's far too late for you to defend and review. Two weren't together, but have been mentioned ages ago. The shadow I saw at the top of the stairs, it must have been Art being the spawn lounge toward the train. He must have known there was distressing music playing outside the spa. Otherwise, he wouldn't have let the slip that he noticed to shift the music when leaving the spa. Lyle, please think about the events in your head. As much as I hate to admit it, there's only one answer I can think of. Even though this is all whatever, I want nothing more than to not believe it. This is the only ammunition we have. Art, we're your friends, aren't we? Please, if we're wrong, just tell us we're wrong. This is all untrue. We can't put yeah, I'm getting scared. That's why I keep taking off the headset. I don't know why this shit's scaring me, but it is. Art. Echo, do you remember what I told you when you asked me about the forced motive question? Yeah. I recall you said you like playing golf, but you haven't expanded your interests outside of golfing. Yeah, it's because they would never let me. It's a terrible existence. Being the ultimate golfer for them. All day I stand around in the sun listening to jerks pitch false interests and crummy business ideas to each other. I'm not playing golf. I'm just there to look good while the suits are off, playing corporate and deception and backstretching. They made me hate golf. So that motivation question made me think about what I was doing. I wasn't having fun anymore, you know? Even though I'm great at I'm the ultimate golfer. Even if that's the case, I didn't feel like me anymore. It's weird. I've had more fun here hanging out with everyone, not indulging in my talent, even though it's the thing that landed me here in the first place. I kept thinking about that. Kept thinking about that FMQ. About how I hate this part of me that blessed me with an opportunity to hang out with all of you fun people before I knew it. Wandered into the spa lounge for some peace and quiet. Thought no one was there, but Pandora was there. Quiet as a mouse. I didn't even notice her until I sat right next to her. She was so nice. Good afternoon, Art. Here to join me. Sure thing. Are you alright? I didn't scare you, did I? No, I just, I didn't notice you when you came in, you know? How it is, head is somewhere else and all. I see. Art, may I ask something? What's up? I believe I heard about you influencing a merger between yours and Lao's school. I am correct? Yeah, that was a while ago. That's such an amazing accomplishment. I could only wish to achieve something half as grand as that. Oh, it's nothing. I hardly remember it. If you insist. It's nothing to sneeze at. Either. I'm sure it's nothing to sneeze at either. I'm sure the other students of both schools have benefited greatly from the feats. Yeah, probably, but I wouldn't know. I only went to the school for a year before I was pulling out to focus on golfing. Before I was pulled out, sorry guys. I have a private tutor to cover the difference. That's quite a generous offer. I hope you can use your talents and position to help more people. I don't know if that's a big of a deal. I have faith in you, Art. In fact, I believe all of us have the ability to induce beneficial change like that if we're given the opportunity. Ultimate students, we have the power and passion and influence in our hands, just like them. I hope we all use it for good of the future. I know we will. Art, you did not kill this. Yes, at last, I finally found them. I didn't know what to say. Power, passion, influencing change? Isn't as rosy as she chalks it up to be. The only thing that my talent ever got me was trapped. I used it to golf all the time with my grandfather before he passed away. After that, I was taken in by some company who would take care of me. 3 square meals and a comfortable place to live. I always played perfect games, perfect but boring, day in, day out. It was the same thing.
I thought I was there to show my skill, but every game was just an outside business conference. Eventually, I honed my skill enough to hit a hole-in-one no matter what. I play short games no one would ever care to watch. But I ace it, and they love it. I whiff it, and they eat it up. At that point, they didn't care what I did. Is it my talent for good of the future? What about my future? I didn't want to stay with the group for the rest of my life. I thought escaping the preservation project would finally free me from that imprisonment. But everything's all messed up. When Pandora closed her eyes, I felt a burning. She said she found them. Who was she talking about? It was obvious, right? I didn't know what to say. I just took the note she had and threw it in the pool. I wanted to go away. Then everything happened in slow motion. It was like my body had moved on its own. My head was ringing. My hands narrowed onto the towel and on her shoulders, and everything was red. It was like there was a fire in my head. When I heard her gasp, my arms were tense, and eventually, I'm sorry. What the fuck, Art? I'm sorry, Lyle. I was just trying to have fun with you earlier. Huh? My good-for-nothing talent made me despise golf. I've never had fun with it since people discovered they could use me for their business ideals. Running around with you, figuring out a big puzzle was the most genuine fun I've had in a while. Thanks, Lyle. What the? No way. No way. This isn't real. You're just a part of the fake game, right? You didn't kill anyone. You're an actor. No way, bro. Tell me you're an actor. And the whole story was fake. Alright, tell me this isn't real. Damn, bro. It was miserable. Like all of us, Lyle was struggling to come to terms with the fact that Art, of all people, Lyle, is this the truth? I have a shred of evidence to go with the confession. I don't know if I can point out a culprit based on such little proof. Missy, you want to keep discussing? Even after his piteous confessions? I'm able to have my doubts, am I not? I can't accept it. I'm sure the rest of you are also having trouble just the same. Doubting is the only thing keeping me from fully realizing the weight of a lofty, impossible to swallow truth. But I can doubt, I can still cling to the possibility of Art not committing such a horrible crime. Missy, you're deluding yourself with a false hope, just like the unfortunate misguided Lyle. Such thinking is unsustainable. Don't make me choose. There's no need for doubt. Canon? I have definite proof. 1604. Cannon? It was small, but it was unmistakable. Art was seated at the base of the atrium globe, with his head in his hands. The photo looked to be a shot from second floor entryway. That means the shadowy figure I saw was me, following Art as he fled from the spa lounge. Huh? I was in the foyer, remember? So when I saw Art emerge from the spa lounge, I went to tell him, follow him as far as the entrance to the atrium. Then I heard you shout for help, and I did an about face. Little did I know, I would stumble upon the very thing he was running from. What the heck is this? Cannon sure is a weirdo photographer. So, does that settle your doubt, Missy?
But why wait to reveal such damning evidence?
You think I want his blood on my hands? Exactly, bro. I already know off rip. I understood. If I presented this photograph, we know the culprit for certain thanks to me, because I'm always unlucky enough to be in the wrong place at the right time. I don't want to bear that weight on my conscience. I know it's selfish, but take it or leave it.
Then, I suppose it's settled. If we can agree that it is unquestionably the truth, there is no room for doubt.
Seem you've all came to whatever the fuck. In that case, it's voting time. This is the final phase of the class trial. What for you think is the culprit? After all that jabbering, you'd better have a solid answer. Don't let any of that sentimental doubt or faith in whatever keep you from saving yourself. It's voting time. Damn, Art. You a bitch, bro. You killed the nicest person and your reason fucking sucked. And we have a winner! The culprit is responsible for the murder of Pandora Espere is none other than the ultimate golfer, Arturo Campopiano. Oof, took long enough. Let's try to do better next time, alright? But for now, it's time for the grand finale. You've reached your exciting destination at the end of your first class trial. The destination being punishment time. Punishment time? Well, yeah, eye for an eye, right? He was caught. Too bad. Recap Rule 5. To expedite the process toward the ultimate prize, one must kill a fellow student without getting caught. Oh, but what happens when they do get caught? Recap trial rules determined and vote correctly, and the culprit alone will receive proper retribution and perish at the hands of your group decision. It's bizarre. If it weren't for Echo's convenient specific memory and Cannon's terrible luck pulling her to witness him, Mark might have gotten away. You have anything you say for yourself, Art Campo Piano? Say something, bitch. This is what the preservation wanted, isn't it? To kill and live on. To prove your strength above all their ultimates. What? You think you're going to live on? Whoops. You clearly don't have the emotional constitution to carry the people's future. What? No. You let your fears and anxieties eat you up until you broke. Stop. Why? I'm shocked Pandora didn't live. Please. She lost to you. A weak, vulnerable, pathetic. I couldn't barely hear anymore. That's... A silvery voice rose from somewhere in the room. That voice, it was... the other announcer. The voice that welcomed us to this place was here. Zero. Stop this at once. Oh, you. I believe I got rid of you, but you still came back. So weird. See? What I did there, Eve? Eve? The students revealed the culprit. Was that not sufficiently entertaining enough for you? Yeah, they sure did do their thing, but geez, did it take a while. Alright, fine. His face was just so rich with despair, I couldn't help it. It was fun for you too, right? Stop this. Fine. I'll get on with it. Goodbye to our Kempo Piano, the ultimate golfer. Your execution awaits until it goes. Zero's hologram warped out and a huge rumbling sound tore through the room. Something was coming. Rumbled beneath us. One of the trial grounds walls slid open, revealing a dark pit beyond the walls. From within, a golf cart came shrieking out, drifting and encircling our stance to stop squarely behind Art. Mechanized arms swapped Art off his feet, pulling him into the cart that had hardly stopped for a second before pulling back into the darkness it came from. Art became sequestered from us. All we could do was watch in horror as his fate was projected on the screen in the middle of the trial grounds. Art was tossed unceremoniously into what appeared to be a sand bunker in the middle of a giant miniature golf course. In a daze, he rose coughing up the sand and meeting the gaze of what Kish Bear statue holding a raised driver. The bear twitched, his metal body groaned rarely as the arms shook to life. Swing tunneled through the air. Art gasped. Golly. Not doing his life. Dude, that was worth the wait, I think. It's funny. He hated golf, but little did he know all those business deals he sat in on. Those deals were the ones that brought in funding for the preservation project, the very thing he wanted to escape to. Thought he could fly away, but it turns out his influence was unescapable. Life sure is cruel, isn't it? It was horrifying. A disgusting display of mocking Art's ultimate title ended his life. He hated his talent in his last moments. It was all he saw. I figured that's what happened there. Usually in the other Danganronpas they have a video, but since this one is just a remake, I figured they would do something kind of lame, but whatever. We all stood completely and utterly shocked. No one said a word. No one moved a muscle. Unmistakably, sinking feeling froze us over. I really thought it was Ashley. I don't know why. Despair. Return for entertaining me? How about I answer one question that's been chilling into your mind? This isn't a preservation project at all, is it? Uh-oh. I said one question only. Our beloved courtroom resides in the Monokuma superstructure. Remember those earthquakes? Those aren't going to bother us. Thanks to civil engineering, those wonders of modern technology never cease. So cool. I hope that satisfies your curiosity. It most certainly did not, you cod. Zero. That silvery spoke once more. The silvery voice, you are a reaper of despair.
Whatever you do ends in futility and provides no benefit to anyone. No benefit to anyone except you and your horrible... I don't know what the fuck that word means. Do not think for a moment you've won. I will continue to fight back, even after what you've done to me. The silver of light remains. Echo Pine. Huh? You've received the title of Ultimate Memory.
Memory? What is that? We have a tactician, photographer, and a silly puzzle master. Good memory for their skill is already required, wouldn't you think? I want to even humor you with this one. Talent isn't even comparable to something remotely useful, ultimate analytical prowess like that one pathetic girl. Come on, you've really given up trying, haven't you? It's no fun having any competition. Fine. Think that would give these people hope? NP6, your queen is in trouble. I have a little information neither you nor your students will like. Cyrus is someone to be wary of.
The fucking spy?
He isn't who he says he is. He's not a normal student like the rest of you. He's much more involved in this game than you think. Ultimate charisma and terrible cover talent. You're all truly clueless if you believe that.
Zero, stop. You meddled enough.
What? And you haven't? I've been given this power for a reason, you know. I'm going to use it as I please.
This isn't the answer. Whatever.
Courtroom is closed. These losers can marinate in despair for a night, but tomorrow we'll get it going again. Shut up. I'm tired of your poor, useless attempts at creating hope. You will never win. You're a failure.
His voice hurt my throat, bro. Oh, God. With the art display, the 2 holograms cut out. What? What just happened? I was on the verge of tears. My whole body shook violently. There was a weight at the bottom of my heart, dragging my whole body down. Felt like my head was going to split. Becoming trapped in a strange luxury mansion where I seemingly didn't belong. Stuck with a group of rare students with a so-called ultimate talent. Getting involved up in a class trial where we had to investigate someone killing someone else. Concluding with gruesome execution as if everything wasn't enough. Why was this happening? I want to go to bed. For a long, long, long time. Before I knew it, my limp body dove to the floor and I kneeled over. My heavy eyes closed wearily and I allowed myself to sink into the whatever darkness. Come on now, Art. And we found out that this dude, Cyrus, isn't somebody we could trust, bro. A deep pulsing darkness filled every crevice and fold, bleeding through razor-thin cracks, drifting unevenly between the nostril-ranging Black Sea and whatever. I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't think that's us talking. Echo. Echo. Echo! Ouch! I opened my eyes as swift, sharp pain struck my face. Hey, what gives? Missy was standing there over me, her hand poised in a way that suggested she was the one who had firmly woken me up. I'm sorry, Echo, but I had to wake you up. I shook you, but you didn't react, so. I blinked several times as I rubbed my left cheek, my vision adjusting to the surroundings. It seems I was either in Missy or Ashley's personal room. I sat up in the bed to see Ashley sitting at the foot of the bed just in front of me. Missy was on the left in a spare chair. Ashley, Missy, what happened? For starters, it's about 9:15 p.m. You seem to have passed out after the trial earlier this evening. Ashley and I were concerned, so we've been monitoring you to make sure you were safe. However, I was worried. You stopped breathing in your sleep. I stopped breathing? I can't have you leaving us so shortly after we lost 2 of our friends. I hope that your newfound ultimate memory does not begin to fail you so soon. Ultimate memory? That's right. Just yesterday I thought I was an ordinary student with no talents or skills, and yet in the courtroom a revelation came to light and I was given the unique title of Ultimate Memory. But whatever that entailed, I wasn't too thrilled, because despite the revelation, it wasn't the strangest thing to occur. I bit back my words in tears, thinking about Pandora and Art. The truth was hard to swallow. Throughout the trial, many of us struggled to find fighting in the discussions. None of us wanted to believe any of it. The murder, and following it, the execution. The 3 of us sat in silence, haunted by the dark happenings of the courtroom. I looked solemnly at the other 2. Missy and Ashley's face told all. A tapestry of remorse and distress. Well, what's important is that you're alright now, Echo. Yeah, thanks to you 2. I'm relieved. Ashley's voice was a whisper. First the door trap, then this. We exchanged few words, but we knew from emotion alone how heavy our hearts are weighed. Missy breathe a tense sigh. Just the other day, Missy was composed, but now the voiceless iron curtain hung over us. There were so many things to address, but fear choked our dialogue. I looked up to meet Ashley's tearful gaze, looking just past her, I saw something bright sitting on a cabinet in the corner of her personal room. It was a helmet. Ash. What is it, Echo? The helmet over there. When we first met up, I remember you saying you didn't have any personal possessions, but... yeah, I didn't mention it on the first date. I didn't want to talk about it then. Sorry, you don't have to. No, I think it should be brought up. Ashley's face sunk. She turned to face the cobalt blue item. I'm sure you can recall what I told you about the person this helmet belongs to. I nodded gently and Ashley sighed deeply. Missy was quiet, politely, whatever the fuck. I got in a fight with my friend, another ultimate student, silver power race car driver. The fight was about the very preservation project we're involved in now. The project was but a low whisper among ultimate students. Word was that we would be offered a state-of-art living and protection, seeing our talents would be a great worldly benefit. As soon as I received my offer to join, I couldn't say no. I asked Silva if he had accepted as well, but Silva declined. Wholly disagreeing with the offer, whatever the fuck. He doubted the validity of a private group that only existed in hope or hearsay of strangers. What position was I to deny safety when it had been offered so graciously? With our differing opinions on the matter coming to a clash, he eventually gave up on me entirely. Yet against his wishes, I made attempts to go. And look where we are now. Ashley began to tear up and buried her head in her hands. I'm such an idiot. Her voice trembled. Ashley, you're not an idiot for caring about your friend's well-being. I was foolish for thinking the killing game would go away if I removed Echo from being involved in my troubles. Being involved with ultimate students only leads to ultimate levels of trouble, but I was wrong for thinking I could shoulder tragedy on my own. Ashley looked at me with pleading eyes. They were filled deep with sorrow and regret. I'm sorry, Echo. I realize now that it's more important than ever we stick together. Facts. She grasped my hand firmly, but her own hands were shaking from fear. It was only natural. I felt a tear fall from my face onto the back of Ashley's hands. Missy's voice slipped in. Why don't we get something from the dining hall to unwind? Everyone seems rather tense, and I think taking a beat could help us distress. Huh? How could you think of getting a snack at a time like this? I heard my voice cry in desperation. Pandora and Art's life were just taken away. I'm sorry, but I don't think we're of sound right now. I don't sound mind right now. That's right. That's right. We shouldn't waste time doing nothing. Then what would you suggest we do? We need to escape. Missy, you're the ultimate tactician. I'm begging you. Come up with something, anything, any sort of plan to get us out of here. What's the point of having ultimate talents if we can't do anything with them? Missy flinched. Yo, I'm tired. I can't wait to end this, y'all. She looked away, attempting to hide her reaction. I realized what I had just said. I'm sorry. I went too far. Echo, it's fine. However, Missy's word betrayed her emotions. She must have felt tense after everything as well, but she tried to retain her composure nonetheless. I left out a deep sigh. I'm sorry for losing my temper. You're right. A snack could help clear my mind. Missy's expression erased, but she said nothing. Rather, she slowly got up and offered a hand for me. She helped me out of bed, and we quietly made our way to the dining hall. Alright, y'all, that is the end of today's video. Oh, man, I'm tired. That was a crazy way for it to end. I feel like the trial, it was kind of just put on a silver platter, and it was easy for us. I wish it was more you know what I'm saying, difficult. You know what I'm saying? But I did like the fact that we had a decision to make that might be crucial going down the line. So I'm gonna remember that. Did I expect Art to be the one to kill her? Absolutely not. I was thinking Say was the killer the whole time because she was the other person with the note, but that's just not how it went. We're finally back and cool with Ashley, so we'll see how that goes. And Cyrus is apparently somebody we cannot trust, even though he's been acting like we can trust him. So we'll see how all of that goes on the next episode. But right now, we have to end it on this one. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If y'all did, like, comment, subscribe for more. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Lord knows I'll never keep from you. Fuck a text from my ex, I'm up next, get no rest.